All right, we're back on the wall. That's what we're just going to call this thing. We're going to call this the wall. So done some repairs there yesterday. They're good and dry today. So I'll get back to that. But the more I looked at this wall, I said, this is the perfect wall to teach people what it's not supposed to look like. So and the reason why it looks this way is because of the nap of the roller. So to get down to, you see those, that black? What that is actually, that's a cornrow. That's one cornrow there, and another one there, another one there. See how fast they show up when you scrape them. Inches away from that one is cornrow / drip run. This whole wall is just covered in bad and worse. Worse being, if I can find one here real quick. I mean, that's just trash right there. That's just trash in the wall, in the paint. And there's lots of them. So now I got my light here. I don't know if you can really see how rough this wall is. It's not smooth. It's nowhere close to smooth. It's just, and what caused this, you can tell by looking at it. What caused it is those are the skids. Somebody had a roller so thick that it just skid half the time. Didn't even really roll. Yeah, you can go over a spot and that's just the tops. And what's worse is there's lows. It's pretty horrible. And the reason why it's like that is because of that roller right there. Possibly even that one. So I do these repairs, and I do a repair and now it's smooth here. Well, I can't put that, well, I guess I could, but it would take time to put that horrible finish on it. So now you're looking at a wall that has paint on it and it has smooth spots. Well, the smooth spots look as bad as that right there is a hump, and it looks bad, and that up there is a hump, and it looks bad. But these smooth spots are going to stand out. They're going to be noticeable. These won't, because they're going to be behind the TV. But any other time, but this is just a good opportunity to tell you why that happened. And why it happened is either somebody didn't know what they were doing, or you didn't want to spend the money. One coat wonders, that's what we call them. If they show up with a 1/2 inch nap, they're a one coat wonder. The reason why they gave you the price they did is because they don't care or don't know. They're going to put one coat on that wall because that's going to put enough paint on it that they're going to get it in one coat. Usually, sometimes they'll still leave a holiday with one coat. A holiday is a little spot where you can tell it's either not as thin or just completely missed right in the middle of a wall where it's got a little divot or something. And it usually happens also when they use wide rollers. There's a 14-inch roller. There's also a 18-inch roller. I didn't have one in my truck. Somehow I got caught short-handed. So, but anyway, it's faster. But the problem with that roller is it's hitting the stud here and it's hitting the stud there. But anything in the middle, if the drywall has any curvature to it at all, it doesn't get the middle. So those are used for back rolling ceilings. When a ceiling's sprayed, then you use a big roller to back roll the ceiling, or if it's new construction, the drywall is most likely going to be good enough to use that. But even when you use that on a ceiling, you spray the ceiling, and then you have to go against the truss like you're surfing, not like you're going down a ravine. So on this one right here, it had to be rolled side to side. That leaves a rolled finish in case any repairs have to be made later. You're not putting You're not rolling back over something that's been sprayed. You ain't got to bring in the sprayer to do it. Cover everything up. So even when you spray, you back roll. You should. I'm gonna say should because a bunch don't. All right, so get rid of that one. Yeah, that's a tiny nail. They'll never know because what I'm getting ready to do next is gonna fix that. So your neck over here, there's a 1/4 inch nap, very smooth surfaces. This is what's funny, right? I guess some painters can't read. Well, it's about the money. They don't want to do 2 coats. 1/2 inch nap, very smooth surfaces. That's for like doors, cabinets, very smooth surfaces. 1/4 inch, very rarely used. If it's that smooth, then it most likely needs sprayed or whatnot. Next, 3/8 nap, smooth surfaces. Hey, there's your sign. A wall should be smooth. A ceiling should be smooth. If it's not textured, it shouldn't be semi-smooth. It should be smooth. If you get a painter and they show up with that to paint your walls, you're gonna get what you pay for. That's all there is to it. So 3/8 is common, and even then, it needs to be it needs to be sanded before it's done, and the first coat goes on. Then any extra repairs that you see, because when you're repairing a wall before you paint, you can't always tell what's a scuff, what's a dent, what's a hole. It's just impossible. You put on the first coat, then you do the other repairs, and then you sand again. You sand in between the first and second coat. It's smooth walls. That's what they're supposed to be. Not semi-smooth, not semi-rough, like this one. This is semi-rough, yeah. So that's the reason why walls are all tore up, and then what's it going to be? I come in and I'm going to do a paint job. I can't paint this wall like that, and I'll tell you why. I won't do it, and I'll tell you why. Because somebody says, "Hey, just paint it. I don't care about the ripples and the rough and the whatever," unless they are a good friend, and some are, and I'll do it. But my reputation is worth more to me than a job. So somebody paints over top of all this rough. Let's just say it's me. And then you have your neighbors over, you have your friends over, and they're looking at the walls. "Oh, you got it painted." "Yeah, I did. Otis Lilly did it." But they always fail to say, "I told him to paint over all that stuff. All I wanted was the color changed. I didn't care." They will never say that. And then their friend is sitting there going, "Holy jeez, I'm never having Otis Lilly do nothing for me." What have I done? I've done a job that it just cost me another job. I'd rather just refuse to do the job unless you're a true friend. This right here, I'm going to show everybody what it takes to fix these things. My next video is going to be me pulling skim coating this whole wall. But let's move on. 3/4 inch nap, semi-rough, rough. We're talking bricks, block, cinder block, stucco, etc., etc. And then you got your slip foam. You always have to use a slip foam on acoustic ceiling, popcorn, etc. If you don't, there'll be more that comes down than what goes up. You're trying to put paint up, and the next time you roll it, you roll forward, you roll backwards. Guess what? Popcorn comes off on the roller if it ain't never been done before. 9-inch slip foam roller is for popcorn. So here's my sander. I'm getting ready to take care of all this rough business in the cornrows. That's 80 grit sandpaper on there. That's the same paper I use to take popcorn off. Some people use water and make a mess, and I use a vacuum cleaner and a vacuum sander, and it's done. So before I do that though, I've got to turn the air off. The air conditioner has to go off. Even though it is a vacuum cleaner, it's just step C. Turn off the air before you vacuum. So I'm going to end this one, and whenever I'm going to sand this, you'll likely see that most of this these big spots are gone. Depending on the paint, it may just gum the sandpaper up, and I might not even be able to get it off. But the next video I make in the next 20 minutes, it'll be skim coating this whole wall.